Oh, alrighty. I'm doing that thing in the beginning where I'm like, am I actually live? Is it working? I think it is. All right, we're going to go ahead with this. Hello and happy Tuesday to everybody. I hope you are having a really great Tuesday. Did you catch our chat last night? If not, you should go check it out. Another good episode, very gala centric. We got a lot of Dougal stuff. It was it was a good chat, and we had a nice time once we got past the first scene of the 10th episode, because, well, it was a very captivating scene and we had a lot to talk about. So, enjoy that. If you get a chance, of course, there was a video yesterday. I was going live to kind of test my audio, which seems to be working as far as I can tell today as well. And I do have some fun things to share. Hello, Linda. Happy Tuesday. Hi. Okay, so now what I've got a lot of behind the scenes. I've got some current photos of some of our Outlander cast out and about doing stuff. I do have a throwback of Sam, and I've got a fun video of Caitriona. And then I do have some personal stuff at the end. If you feel like listening to that, please go ahead, but I'm not going to waste your time here at the beginning. I think we're going all right. We got viewers, we got stuff going. Let's start with some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I think that's a good choice. As we can see, we got Caitriona here at the beginning. These are some season 3 throwbacks from Outlander Online. Adore you guys. Throwbacks to some behind the scenes from Outlander season 3 from their site archives. Lots of hashtags. You know, lots coming up here. But we got some laughter and some good times. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do kind of enjoy that wide brim hat. What can I say? I think it's very useful. Okay, all right, and so we're going to get some Culloden throwbacking here, which I tell you what, when I see this picture, I'm never quite sure if it's, when it is, because they do some battles throughout season 1 too. So I think I've once or twice said this is a season 1 picture, and it's not. Having a sec. And I loved hearing Steve and Cree talking about having to wear his green sock. So there's the green sock, because obviously Ian does not have that bottom portion of his leg. So we got the green sock so we can get the full effect. And probably very uncomfortable. Appreciate the extra effort there, buddy. And he's getting a snack. So that's good. Oh, now look, I saw this and really... Richard Rankin, he looks so young in this. And again, I forget that he's been on the show for, not the whole time, but like what? He's in the end of season 2. So yeah, we get a lot. We get a lot. And so, yeah, he just looks so young comparatively. Sophie doesn't look much different to me. I don't think the ladies age. Oh, speaking of back in the day, we got Caesar, we got Lauren Lyle. They're having a laugh on the beach. So, and you know what? He's it looks a little bit worse for wear, but I believe they're shipwrecked at this time, possibly. So, yeah, they have reason to look a little worn. And there we are on the ship. And of course, Lauren, not all of her outfits are from Claire's previous clothing, but we can see some of it. This, I don't think, is one of them, but I do love the costumes they did for her. It's kind of odd to me to think that she's so young. She's a teenager, basically, but of course, the costuming is more accurate, so she's 16, so she's a kid to me, but back then, she would have been considered a woman. So the way they dress is telling of how they treat people, I think, or how people are seen. Look at how little John Bell is, and he has all his hair, or at least a wig, with a lot of hair. So we had John Bell getting some notes there behind the scenes. This is a good season for John too. Oh, and now we're back in Dr. Claire time, doing some surgery and getting some notes there. And they have Dr. Claire to give notes about things medical, which is cool. With the real Dr. Claire, there's Dr. Claire and there's Dr. Claire. We got a thumbs up from Richard, getting all pretty-fied for the cameras there, it looks like. And let's see, what else do I have? I'm literally paranoid looking for people to say, we can't hear you. I keep looking over there. Oh, well, there you go. There's a fashion statement if I ever did see one. And I do like I liked the eye patch. I thought he carried it off well. Yes, damage was done, and it's terrible that we. But I thought he was very dashing with the eye patch. So yay, go Grant. More behind the scenes, being followed around by a camera. We talked about this last night too. Some of these scenes, and this is more of an open space, but some of these scenes we forget that their actors are like surrounded by crew, by contraptions and devices to all capture this moment, and they have to act like none of that's there. That would be the hardest part about acting in a show to me, I think, trying to pretend that I'm not being surrounded by folks and such that are not actually in. Getting more direction here. Oh, this is before Ian's first moment, I believe, with the gal. So like the bar scene where he fancies the barmaid. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Let me know if I'm wrong there. Oh, okay. And now we got Matthews with Tobias here. Getting direction again. This is, oh gosh, another one of the flashbacks. Just, and they peppered out around a lot of good flashbacks through this season too. Okay. Yeah. Getting all pretty-fied again. It is so funny because he doesn't look like himself. Stephen Cree does not look like Stephen Cree when he's playing Ian Murray, in my opinion. Now, I know y'all, if y'all have been watching me for a while, I have terrible face blindness for similar faces. I would get Caitlin O'Ryan and Izzy, yeah, mistaken for each other in my mind. It took me a while to get it straight. He doesn't look like himself. They do such a fantastic job of building this character. And again, yeah, David Barry looks very different, but he looks very much like himself in person though too. So I don't know. They don't change his look so much. It's just his hair. So he looks fairly similar in person, just a little younger now when you see him in person than he does on TV because obviously they age him up a bit. Lord John has gone through a few things. Oh, I would love to meet her. I would love to meet her in person. Lottie seems like an interesting person. And she, of course, she carried off Galis perfectly, really well. I enjoy We're doing a lot of Galis right now on the rewatch. And yeah, it's great. And of course, cannot show season 3 without the full because, oh, it just looks so good. We've got Sam in the white wig. We've got Caitriona just in this beautiful gold gown. And I do like on Sam's vest here, I don't much like the fabric that they have to wear. I would have felt terrible. But I do like the detail here to his vest here in the front, the embroidery. It's very cool. I like that. And a couple more here. I've got a lot of stuff to show. I need to hurry up. A couple more here because we got some good pictures of, this has got to be, what, when they're talking about the first wife and the second wife going to meet yeah. We might have an issue here, my lord. And I liked this one too. I almost used this for the thumb. No, I did use this for part of the thumbnail because we don't see this. This never happens on camera. So this is a cool photo of Roman and Caitriona and Tobias, and I just thought this was cute. What if Fergus could have gone through the stones with Caitriona, or with Caitriona, with Claire? Wouldn't have that have been an interesting change to the story? At any rate, those were some good behind the scenes. As always, thank you so much, Outlander Online, for sharing them. We got photos now from Charles Van de Site, who's also Outlander Online, but either way, we appreciate that. Photos of Charles Vandervaart, David Barry, and the cast of Outlander during the soiree at LandCon 7. Left to right on the third photos. Okay, we'll wait till we get to the third photo. Okay, so we get Charles sitting at the table with all these lucky folks who were there. I'm only kind of jealous of some of you, but it's all right. It's all right. It's so cool that you guys were able to take pictures and share them. I appreciate so much that you took the time to do that. Where we got David and Charles having a father-son chat, I'm guessing, right? That only makes sense. Okay, on the third photo, left to right, Charles Vandervaart. Charles, where is he? Oh, he's way over in the corner. Okay, Charles Vandervaart, Joey Phillips, right there, yeah. Izzy McKeel, there she is. Chris Fulton, there he is. David Barry, there he is. And Duncan LaCroix, there he is. Oh, that's so That is a cool picture to have. I want that picture. Hey, look, there it is. Oh, cool. And it was a masquerade ball. So there were people who had different kinds of masks that they had purchased, not just the gowns. And so we've got a masked person here having a chat with Charles. How very cool. All right. Moving on, an updated image of Charles. And there was a thought that this fella was in France, but he is not. He was in Barcelona. He's in Barcelona, I believe. A new photo of Charles Van der Vaart from Charles Van der Vaart's Instagram. And Neil, the first person says, cute, lovely young man. Yes, I agree. He is. He's quite a lovely young man. And new image of Izzy McHale, also provided by Outlander Online from her Instagram. It's a black and white photo of her on the street. I'm guessing she's involved with a project, because otherwise she has a very large piece of equipment for no good reason, and it will not fit in anybody's purse. I don't care how good that thing collapses. So she's got to be on a project of some sort. I can't wait to hear about that. Now, it's a video. Outlander Online Outlander Online says, Dare Maid Berton and Richard Rankin discussed their chemistry on the set of Outlander Season 7. This has been a going joke for a little while now, and we do enjoy it because they work great together. They had some of the best and most insightful scenes in that final part of Season 7.
Remember that Richard found me very attractive very early, so that helped, I think, a lot. Still, yeah, there we go. Yeah. I think we didn't know each other beforehand. I don't think we may have had a little bit of rehearsal. Maybe we'd maybe met at the read-through, but we just got on very quickly and very well, and we work, I think, maybe potentially in a similar fashion or an agreeable fashion. But Jesus God, I remember it being such a relief. Not that I wasn't having a good time, but I just remember starting this adventure and what came to being a really good chemistry and good story. I enjoyed it very much. I just remember that Richard found me very
cool. All right, very, very nice. So just a little description of what it was like for them to start working together, and they got along well, which I think, again, I've said before, when you can tell that people have a good relationship off camera a lot of times by how they play on camera, and definitely came through for these two, I think. Yeah, I think so. Outlander Online also shares this one, new photos of Lauren Lyle in, I'm not going to, Chemonix, I'm so sorry. Lauren Lyle's Instagram's where these come from originally. There she is. That is lovely. I love that these folks share these pictures because it's so, oh my gosh. Okay, so Mont Blanc. Yeah, and I can't say the name. That is really pretty, really nice mountain. I wonder if she was like, well, Sam can climb a mountain. We're climbing. No, I don't think she wouldn't climb the mountain. She didn't look dressed for it. But very pretty, very cool, kind of just place to go visit. Just for the sights. Balfe Nation shares this one. Caitriona Balfe sings a Gaelic mermaid song that will stay in your head all day. Balfe appeared on ABC's Popcorn with Peter Travers in September 2017. I feel like I might have played this one before, but I wasn't positive, and heck, why the heck not listen to it again? It is always fun to hear her.
Road to Aaron Carrick, Walker to McGraw. On road to Aaron Carrick, Nervy Sheon. There you go.
That's beautiful. What does that mean?
It's about a man who fell in love with a mermaid. So he was like, were you on the rock? Were you on the rock when she was there? Were you on the rock when you saw my love?
I love that.
There you go.
I thought you were going to do Sing Me a Song. No,
That's Scottish.
That's Scottish.
That's
and
very
it's not
different.
Irish. It's
not Irish.
Very different. She says, yeah, that's true. Okay, also says, fun fact, Caitriona isn't the only Outlander cast who can sing in Irish. Maria Doyle Kennedy Jocasta is a famously talented singer and actor who's also Irish. Yes, she is. Fun fact. And so that's very cool. I love that. That's awesome. Alrighty. I'm not going to play anything else on that because I know there's probably more and I don't want to get myself in too much trouble. Point Blank 1959, as always, giving us some great throwbacks of Sam. Work and play go together for the Sassenach Spirits Bosses. London 2021 and Mexico 2024 are the two pictures here we got. So this is 2021, and they've got their I'm guessing they've got his whiskey, and they're having a little taste. And then Mexico could have been when he was doing one of his ventures to figure out some of his tequila stuff, or doing some business there for his tequila portion of Sassenach Spirits. But either way, we got Alex, we got Sam, and some gentleman in the middle who looks very happy to be there. I would be too. Lorraine Gevian says, "Hey, Katie, happy Tuesday. Love behind the scenes fun listening to you guys. Last night, Outlander did have a great cast. Loveland, Fergus would say, my lord and my lady. Yes, very much so. And I adore Murta. Yes, Katie, it's a great cast. It is a great cast. Can you pick out anybody who doesn't do a fantastic job? You'd be hard pressed. Last one of Sam here, and then I have some personal stuff. But Point Blank also shared this throwback. Sam Heughan at Burns Supper, a charity event in LA, January 2019, with Gerard Butler and other Scottish celebs. In number 4, he's with Leslie Nicole, the actress who plays the cook in Downton Abbey. I wonder if Sam saw that brilliant series. It's not really his genre. Yeah, no, it's not really his genre. He might have watched some of it just to be like, Ed was in it. Why not go check it out just a little bit? I've seen every episode repeatedly. I've watched it too many times as well. But what is he cutting? It looks like he's trying to cut a rock, but that's not a rock. That's got to be some sort of melon or something. Yeah, I sure hope so, because cutting a rock would not go well. And then he's Sam. So he's got a drink. That's important. He's got to have a drink, and probably celebrating doing well for the charity, or finishing the event for charity at Burns Supper. So, okay. I don't know exactly there. And then we've got his, again, a melon of some sort, possibly. And yeah, because it's a while ago. It's not his whiskey, but he does have a drink. That's how we can identify that it is Sam. It's really, yeah. Okay, and then he's with Leslie Nicole, the actress who played the cook in Downton Abbey. There she is. Oh, yes. Okay, see, because her hair is down, I can't. But she was fantastic. And so I'm losing everybody's name and wanting to say Mrs. Figg. Obviously, that's wrong. And not Mrs. Fitz either. Oh, my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Anyway, yes, she was the cook, and she was so mean to the little girl. But to Daisy. Daisy, I remember. I liked following her story probably the best out of all the downstairs people, because, her time was a tricky time. She had there were some interesting things that happened on Downton Abbey. If you haven't watched it and you like period shows of any kind, it really is a fascinating look into how life was, and at a time when things really, really changed. So it's excellent. Really enjoy it. That is everything I have Outlander based. If that's all you want to hear about, then please feel free to go. But don't forget to give the video a like on your way out if you've enjoyed it so far. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to my members, of course, for their continued support. Do appreciate that. And thanks for anybody who comes by and views, whether you're a regular or if you're a first timer and you made it this far, come back again. This is what I do. It's I try to keep people updated on stuff, and make a nice little community of folks where we all kind of look out for each other. It's good stuff. So that is all I have for the Outlander stuff. I am going to do personal now. And if you were involved in the chat last night, you already know pretty much everything I'm going to say except one part. If you come to this channel very often, you know that I do not drive. And I have not driven in almost 20 years. There is a reason for that, and I'm going to tell you why when I show you this. Oh, you know what? I need to switch that to that, turn that off. There we go. So, why am I showing you this? It is because something funny happened to me yesterday when I went to go get a renewal, an update of my ID to the Real ID. If you live in the United States, you know that you need a Real ID to travel by airplane. And I plan on getting on an airplane at least once, if not twice this year, so I needed to go make sure that was done. It was very tricky because if you have, like me, been married more than once, you have to have the entire trail of how your name has changed over the years. Super fun time, but I did get it finished. And while I was there, the rep asked if I wanted to, or I asked my rep to explain a couple of things about my driving record. My driving record is spotty, and I'll tell you more about that. But it turned out that I could go ahead and begin the process to get my license. And so I went and took the test on a whim and passed. And when I walked out the door, this vehicle was sitting right out front. Not kidding you, in the slightest, not even. It was right out front, and I got to talking to the gentleman, and he's selling it. I'm not buying it, okay? It just happens to be almost exactly the kind of car that I am looking for. It is a Jeep. It is, I believe, a Wrangler. It is in decent shape. I don't care if it's one door, two door or four door. I was kind of leaning towards a four door. This happens to be a four door. Anyway, I saw it as kind of a sign. And so I'm going to get started on something. For those of you sticking with me, I do appreciate it. But I'm going to read you basically my story and what the heck I'm talking about here. So I have made a fundraiser. Yes, and obviously there is a goal. What am I doing? I'm explaining that now by reading this. Ever since I was 3 years old, I've wanted a Jeep, but my life in the last 2 decades didn't have space or the cash flow to own a vehicle, much less attempt to purchase my dream car. In the last few years, building my channel bit by bit, I've not only found myself with the ability to earn cash which didn't immediately need to go to pay an overdue bill or purchase new clothes for another growth spurt my children were having. And so I began to fix my issues with driving by clearing up any issue I had with my driving record. Now here is the embarrassing part. This is condensed and not every detail, but this is why I don't drive. I'm 50 years old now, and I do not have a driver's license, and it is all my own doing because of poor choices, at sometimes no choice, and not always prioritizing things properly in my 20s and my early 30s. Absolutely true. During those decades, I received a ticket here and there, nothing horrendous, but I did not pay off those violations, and so the points on my license never left. They simply built up over the decade and a half to the maximum limit, and my license was suspended. But that's not all. Rightly so. Rightly so. I was not being mature. I wasn't taking care of my obligations. They did exactly what they ought to do. I will continue here. I have no complaints about this. I didn't take my responsibilities as a driver seriously, at least not the financial side, though at the time paying for a moving violation or paying the electric bill seemed like an easy choice, especially when children were involved. And at some of these points, I was the only breadwinner in a household where I was married, and at other points, I was the only adult in the household of a family of 4. So yeah. Here is where my problem really begins. I was sent notification of suspension through snail mail. It's in the records. And it's right there. They sent me a notification. Unfortunately, my children and I moved shortly before the notice and never saw it. A year later, when I had a car accident, and I don't know if it was exactly a year later, but it was sometime later, I had a car accident and I received a boatload of new points and was informed by the officer on site my license had been suspended and I never drove a car again or renewed my license. If your license is suspended, at least in Indiana, you can renew your license until it's and have it unsuspended if nothing changes. Because I moved to this small town and never drove, I never bothered with it. I didn't worry about it. I didn't have the money to do anything about it. I was still trying to survive. Anyway, that's off it. That was, a year later when I had a car accident, received a boatload and never drove a car again or renewed my license. That was almost 20 years ago and my license has lapsed, which means I will have to take the usual written and driving test to earn it again. Last year, I finally had enough money to pay off every single fine, ticket, and miscellaneous violation I'd racked up in the time that I had a license. And so a 2-year clock began as I waited for the points to clear so I could drive again. In Indiana, the points stay on your license for 2 years. Now, by every indication and what little I understood of how points work in Indiana, I thought I had to wait 2 years before attempting to earn driving privileges again. After my own self-punishment of 15 plus years, and 2 more seemed annoying, but doable. Then I went to the DMV to update my real ID for a flight I'm expecting to take in August and found out while my points will remain on my record for another year and 2 months, my driving ability will be returned to me by the 15th of May. That is 9 days from now. I was shocked. You could have knocked me over with a feather. But on a whim, the DMV rep asked if I'd like to take the written test that day because they were giving them out anyway, and why not just add me to the pool? I figured I would, knowing full well I'd fail. I have read the manual in the last year, but I hadn't studied per se. But I also hadn't sat for a test of any kind in a decade or so, so I thought I'd give it a go just to remind myself what test taking was like and familiarize myself with the test. Then I passed. 47 out of 50. Shocked the heck out of myself, to be honest. But it was like all pretty much logical things, and it's not like I hadn't been sitting in a car writing for the past many years. The 2 years I thought I had to save for my dream car to plan my channel's growth as I travel to conventions, gatherings, sites, and places associated with the shows, movies, and books I love to talk about on my channel. That 2 years just went poof, but in a good way. So I am left with a challenge or project to see how quickly I can raise the money to get possibly not a dream vehicle, but something close, and more importantly, something that gives me the freedom to share even more varied content than I can now with viewers and friends. And I end this simply with, I hope this explains my goal, my history, and my hopes clearly, and I thank you for taking the time to read my story. And I thank you guys for listening to me tell right to you. Now, I do have a couple of pictures of Jeeps so people can have an idea, but these are neither of ones that I'm going to be getting. They're too expensive, definitely out of my price range. What I do have saved and what I need to make sure that I can buy something moderately reliable, with not, with under 300,000 miles on it, that would be great. That is, it's got to last for a little while because I'm going to continue to save. Hopefully being able to show more varied content on the channel will help me make a little more money, make it easier to save. Plus, I am trying to do these little side projects where I make things to sell. I'm working on it. I really am. I just didn't expect the time to be so soon and the opportunity to be so soon. And I wasn't going to do anything about it except kind of freak out. Except when I talked last night before we went live, Cynthia said, why not do a GoFundMe? It doesn't seem fair to just do a GoFundMe, just give me money. But that's how GoFundMe is set up. However, there's absolutely nothing on GoFundMe that says that I can't offer something. So, if you donate, if you decide to help me out, you're going to get something, no matter how much you donate, if you feel like you can. If you donate up to $50, so anywhere between $1 or whatever is the minimum, up to $50, your name is going to be included on a Katie's Contributors scroll for the next year. There's going to be I'm going to have a scroll just like I have a scroll that goes up for members. You see your names? I'm going to make a separate one for every single person who donates. And you're going to be on there for the next year as a thank you, so people are aware of your contribution and your assistance. Anywhere from, and I said up to 100, so up to 100, I meant to say like from 51 to 100, but at any rate, all of the above, so your name's included on a scroll, the 3 pins available on Etsy, and some Katie's Corner and Space swag, including stickers, bracelets, and magnets. I don't know what else to offer, but again, I want to offer something. If you donate between $101 and $249, which seems ridiculous, I don't expect any of this. All of the above, again, plus a private chat, a one-on-one chat, and a personal thank you mailed to you from me. If $250 to $499, all of the above again, plus a choice of destination or event I will travel to within a 6-hour drive from my place. So that's like that actually is a fairly decent radius. I will honor this as best as I can. If events are sold out or too pricey for an entrance, you can change your choice, or I can share an atmosphere outside of the event. That's actually not too hard to do. When I was at Chicago, that open space where people were cosplaying outside of the event, you don't need a ticket to get in there. I can walk around, check out people's cosplay. The only thing I wouldn't be able to do is go talk to the stars or show the vendor floor. So it's up to you. But if you wanted me to go like visit a TARDIS somebody had built out in the middle of nowhere, I'll go do that. Don't have to worry about it being sold out. The only thing I'd have to worry about is the weather. So you understand, hopefully that makes some kind of sense. All right. Now, for $500 to $999, and again, I feel silly even saying this, all of the 100, all of the tiered stuff above, all the 100 tier and above, and a visit to a destination or event anywhere within the continental U.S. And again, I will honor it as best as I can. If the events are sold out or too pricey for entrance, you can change your choice, or I can share the atmosphere outside of the event. Because you might want me to go to Comic-Con in San Diego, but those tickets sell out fast. And I've never been. It would be kind of ridiculous. If you are a crazy person and decide to support me with $1,000, you will get all of the above. Obviously, only one of these choices, not both. I'm not going to go to a drive one place, then another, but you will get one of these two and all of the above. Plus, I hope it is a place or event near you, because I will come to you for a meal out, my treat, continental U.S. only, within the next year. And all of these are within the next year. I'm hoping to do them within the 6 months if it happens. Now, the great thing is, I feel silly even asking for this. I honestly do. I feel absolutely ridiculous. It seems like entirely too much to ask. However, if you do donate, one, you have my great appreciation and whatever I have promised at your tier. If you would like me to send you something, if your tier, I send you something, you're going to have to do your donation and then email me your address so I can do that. So it will be a little bit on your part, because again, GoFundMe is not set up to do this automatically. This is me on the side. Just, I got to do something if you do something. And if my $5,000 goal is not met, all your money will be refunded. I won't take any of it, because I'm not going to take it for partially. I would need minimum that much money to make sure that I have a vehicle that I can purchase, have checked out by a mechanic, get titled, get licensed, probably little things that you have to do with a used car, get your oil changed, get the possibly new tires. Just trying to give myself a buffer to make sure that it's going to be a safe vehicle to drive around in. And the cars that I'm looking at are mostly around between $7,000 and $10,000, and I just don't have that much saved up. So, with a little help, maybe I can do it. If you'd like to help, that's how you can. The link to this I will put below, but it is a GoFundMe, and it's called "Help Me Drive Again: A Jeep for a New Beginning," because that's what the AI suggested I call it. I have no imagination for titles, which is why people offered to title my stuff for me, and I can't pay them yet. So anyway, that's a whole nother thing. That's what I'm doing. Thanks for listening. I still got 9 of you listen, so I appreciate that. I honestly don't expect this to pan out. But again, it's worth sharing. Now, if you want to support me, but you don't want to put money on the GoFundMe, and I know there's some of you out there that just don't trust online payments, if you'd like to donate, you can send it to me through P.O. Box. The P.O. Box is in the description below. And I will manually add your donation to the GoFundMe. And if you put your return address, I'll be able to email you back or mail back whatever it is that you've gotten. And we'll figure out the logistics. I don't know. If anybody has any other suggestions, please let me know. I'm running with an idea and see if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm no worse off than I was before, and I will make sure you get your money back if I don't reach my goal. So neither will you be. And if I do, I'm gonna have a busy year traveling And I'll be mailing out a lot of pins. So thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks so much. Go forth and have a really great rest of your Tuesday, okay? Even if you can't donate or don't donate, if you feel like you can share this with other people who may want to assist, I'd appreciate it. And even if you don't do that, thanks so much for coming and watching my videos, because that helps as well. Let's see. I already did my thanks to my members, but again, thank you for my members. If you want to join that to support the channel, go down below. I would like to, at one of those tiers, offer a membership for a year. I need to work out how to do that. That would be an idea if anybody's interested in that. And our members chat is going to be on, we were talking about this last night, Jackie, and I got side. We're going to do our chat, I think, on the 15th, even though it's a Thursday, because it'll be at 9. So members, look out for that notice in the comments, in the community and posts. And yeah, everybody just be safe. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.